Hey there, afternoon. It's been a couple days since I've jumped on, and it's been crazy. Somebody texted me and said, "Oh my God, are you still alive?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm still alive. I'm alive. I'm here. I'm well. I'm feeling good. Life is glorious. Life is wonderful. The weather is beautiful, despite all the storms going through, and all of that." But as I was sitting here and I've been running around, I'm like, I've gotten so much accomplished today. And I just feel great about that. I'm one of those people that loves to get everything accomplished. I have to have things accomplished. Hey, they're a little, and I have like these strict guidelines for myself. Despite all my free flow and everything, I really do have these really strict guidelines for my life, for the way I build my business, the way I live and everything. And, I'm one of those people, I get up early in the morning and I just have my routine and I do it. And a long time ago, I didn't know what kind of a routine I should have. I didn't know about routines much at all. I had boring routines. I had routines that felt like work. I had routines that I hated, but they weren't getting me anywhere. And then along came a couple mentors in my life who just smacked me around and said, "That's not how you do it." This thing that we do, and we all doing something, right? Like there's something that we all want. There's, of course, we all want more money. We all want to be healthy. We all want to be strong. We all want to have great relationships. We all want to have better sex. We all want to have, happy relationships, depth, intimacy. We want to be seen. We want to witness. We want to be understood, and we want to understand. We want connection, right? We want abundance in good shit. That's what we ultimately want. And a lot of the times we live our lives with an abundance of bad shit. And our world is definitely a great depiction of that right now. And I'm a firm believer that the way through the majority of this bad shit that we're seeing is to, yes, stay aware, stay woken about it, and to be conscientious about it. But at the same time, to really focus in on what am I doing in my daily life that's making me happy? How am I living? Am I struggling in my thoughts? Am I struggling in my emotions? Am I sitting around and freaking the fuck out about the way the world is going? Because it's so easy to do. I mean, I even fall prey to it. I do. I fall prey to it. Like this morning, mentor of mine was posting stuff about what was going on in her neck of the woods and all this different stuff, and it sent me down this rabbit hole. It did. I went down this rabbit hole, and yesterday somebody that that I look up to, she shared something. She made one statement. Next thing I know, I'm on her website and I'm looking at different things, and I was just like, damn, like here I go. I'm down that rabbit hole. And I realized over the course of the last couple of days that the technique that I have learned about over the course of the last 5-6 years is to kind of give yourself permission to say fuck it, to just say fuck it sometimes, and to break those routines, to break those ideas of I must do this or I must follow this path. And a lot of it is the stuff that we force upon ourselves, like that routine that I force upon myself, right? And I used to force these old routines that were not good in my world and that felt really, really boring and no fun and didn't allow for space, didn't allow for life, didn't allow for abundance, didn't allow for love, didn't allow for any of it. And it was a bunch of bullshit. And I know that a lot of people feel that they have to live that way because you have the 9 to 5, you've got the job, right? You got the corporate situation. But even in the corporate situation, because the majority of my one-on-one clients are, I'd say about 50% of them are entrepreneurs and 50% of them are in some high-end corporate position. And they are stuck in certain structures, so they don't have the necessary freedoms of life that I've designed into my life over the course of the last decade. And that can be tough, but I can tell you that you can still do it. And it's finding those little ways to develop practices, routines that aren't constricting, that aren't just there making you feel like crap every day, but are helping you build play, helping you build abundance. Hey, April, helping you build abundance and really growing who you are. Because when you tap into your light, when you tap into your joy, when you tap into your fun, when you find joy and happiness in every single day in little ways, guess what happens? You're a happier person. You're a better person. You're so much more confident. You're so much more easy to get along with. You can tolerate other people's irritating ways, because we all get irritated with those around us, right? And that's what we're facing right now, is we're facing so many people that are hating on themselves at such a deep level that now they see this hatred out in the world and they're hating on, and that's sad, right? I'm going to just tell you right now, I just got a nose ring when I was in Florida the other day. My daughter and Addison, they talked me into it. They both have nose rings. And I've wanted one for like a decade, and I got a thing against needles and pain. I know, 7 kids and like 8 tattoos, and I still hate needles and pain. But nose ring, I was like, no. Well, I went ahead and I did it. I had a couple Mai Tais, and I went ahead and I did it. And it is still, I just feel like I got a booger in my nose. So if you see me like scratching at my nose, that's because of the nose ring. So there you have it. But no, when we find happy little spots in our day-to-day world, what that does is it allows us to truly connect at a different level. The other day I wrote an article talking about, I've been writing a lot of articles talking about self-love and toleration. It's because I've been taking so much flack with my abnormal views of the world, right? Can't please everybody. And of course, the people that you can't please, when we really are hating on each other, and here's just the little thing, and if I'm whacking you upside the head, well, sorry, not sorry on this, because it's just reality. I've noticed in a lot of commentary that has been going on with some of the stuff that I've posted and shared, that the people that believe that they're open-minded but are not open-minded can't agree to disagree. Their desire is to just shut you up, right? You shouldn't think that way. You shouldn't say that. You shouldn't believe that. Oh my God, you're bad for this. Oh my God, you're bad for that. That's it. I've had it with you. And then they have to announce that they're unfriending you, of course. It's like, then I'm going to announce that I'm unfriending you because you should care that I'm unfriending you. I'm like, well, if you're that putrid of thinking, I'm glad that you're unfriending me, because I'm not into that. Like, I can love everybody for their differences, and we should have our differences. And one of the biggest differences that I personally have gone through, like this inner change in myself, because I used to be the negative Nancy, right? I used to be that person that got focused on the crap, that could go down those negative spirals, that couldn't handle the turbulence that the world brings us and still be happy through it. And today, it's like, yeah, I'm still going through quarantine with the rest of the world. I still have to put a mask on when I go into a grocery store. Like, I took my kids to a dentist this morning, and I had to wear a mask there. And then, and then I went out to Target, and we bought some stuff there, and I wore a mask there. But even though I may not agree on certain things going on in the world, the reality is that I'm still happy with the life that I have. I'm feeling blessed, right? I feel blessed in my life. I feel blessed in my relationships. I feel blessed with my business. I feel blessed with the people that I get to work with. I get to work with these absolutely amazing individuals every single day that I, get the label of client, but so many of them have become friends too, and moved into more of my family friend circle. And that's a beautiful thing. I feel blessed that I get to do something that I love and teach people how to live abundantly, and teach people how to thrive and to be happy in their lives, and to overcome their trauma and their shame, and to really step out into the world so that they can go and really live as well. That's a blessing to me. And when I witness people doing it, man, that turns me on to life. And that makes me happy. That makes me smile. And it's fun as fuck to get in there and help people shift their shit. It's also fun. It's also fun to kick back in my backyard and have, a fire in my fire pit, or to garden, or to read a book to my 5-year-old. It's fun to hang out and have conversations. It's fun to do conscious coffee and to share random thoughts, and different things. And it really is. And thank you, April. Absolutely. It is about doing what you love. And when we hear it a lot, right? We hear it all the time out there where it is do what you love, follow your bliss, as Joseph Campbell stated, follow your bliss, do what you love, that's the path. And yet we hate on people that are doing it. I mean, that's what I see, because people that are doing what they love, people who are having fun in the midst of turbulence, people who are still feeling blessed and abundant in the midst of chaos. Oh my gosh, there's got to be something wrong. How can we pull them down? I remember that fact, being optimistic is way better than being negative. Fuck yeah, absolutely. It's not fun to think that the glass is half empty, because it doesn't have to be. We can pour more milk in it. And and I know I'm like kind of all over the place. I shouldn't be. Maybe it was the second cup of coffee that I had this morning. I don't know. I have been definitely blowing and going today. So excuse my like all over place. Maybe it's where my hormones are at in the month. I don't know. But oh shoot, where was I going with it, guys? Negative. Glass full. Oh, there we go. I got it. It came back. No, the fact is that when we're more optimistic and we're focusing in on the glass being half full instead of half empty, and we're doing what we love, and we're focused on fun, and we're focused on our joy, and we're focused on the blessings in our life, and we're finding blessings in every single day, and we're being, here's key, right, present with the moment, with the people in our lives, that makes us happy, that we get, our life is more fulfilling because we're not sitting around and thinking about what we should be doing here or we should be doing there, and then we're not feeling as fatigued. And guess what? All of this makes our immune system so much stronger, right? Where it's making us, because happiness boosts our immune system. Happy people are healthier people. Happy people get more connection in life. Happy people smile all the time, right? Happy people are looking at the positive, and they're, even if they get sick, they're like, it's okay, like I got this. And we know what to do when we're happier, because we can feel through things in such a better way. And here's the reality. If we're not happy, if we're not taking care of ourselves, if we're not doing what we love, if we're not living that life of fun-based living, okay, so that's thriving, because we want fun in our lives, we want happiness, we want joy. Abundance flows to a fun spot, okay? It does. If you're sitting around and you're stressed out about your bills and you're focusing on, I don't have enough money in the bank, and all this, well, then guess what? That causes constriction in your energy. You're not having fun. You're not looking at your abundance. And, well, it's not going to come to you. It really isn't. And it is really hard to positively touch other people's lives in any fashion or form, or to be of any service in this world to another person or, entity out there, if we are not operating from a state of fullness. Okay, so our pitcher, us, we're the pitcher. It has to be full, and the only way we can ever really pour into another's cup is from a space of having within our own, right? And that's where that word selfishness kind of comes in. So we have to give ourselves permission to say fuck it every now and then. We have to. And that fuck it that I'm talking about in this instance is stating that sometimes I'm going to say no. I'm going to say, no, I can't do that. No, I don't, that's not in alignment to me. Sometimes I'm going to change that morning routine up. I might have to change my day up. I might have to allow life to show me what direction to go. And I have to give myself permission to do that, because when we end up in this constriction of hardcore pattern, day in, day out, doing the exact same thing. Oh my, I just got notice. So any of you notice that there's a proposed school change to make school start on August 25th instead of August 12th. So maybe they're bumping it out. I'm going to be homeschooling. I know I am. I'm going to have 4 homeschoolers. I homeschool my oldest, but she's pretty well. She takes care of herself. She's 17. But yeah, I'm going to end up homeschooling my 14 and kindergarten and second grader. Fun, fun, fun. So yeah, so when we get caught up in that negative, right? What that does is that causes that constriction. And if we're feeling negative around anything, including a routine, including, and what are we living in right now? Like my stepdaughter, well, my boyfriend, I call her my stepdaughter. She's like a daughter to me. And we're not married, but my boyfriend's daughter is with us for the next 3 weeks. And she's been staying in her mom's house. And she has been basically not able to leave the house, not even to go to the grocery store for the last 4 months. Okay. Because her mom is absolutely terrified of COVID. So she's been in her room for 4 months. And then she's getting 3 weeks out with us, and we're going horseback riding up in the Ozarks next week, and we're going down to Corpus Christi and playing in the ocean, for a couple days and everything. And I know she's so looking forward to it. But her and I, we were talking about it, and it's like this constriction. She's like, I don't even feel healthy anymore. Like, I've only been in my room. I've just got this. I don't even want to be friends with my friends anymore because we've just been, talking on the phone and texting and everything. And she's like, I'm just sick and tired of all of this stuff. And it's just this whole mundane, captive, completely held captive in her bedroom. And I go, okay, well, she's 16 and her mom's kind of making her do this, right? And that's where our world's at. But I have a few clients that have had this situation too. I have one client that actually ended up getting COVID and has never left their house, but tested positive for COVID and got really, really sick. And I have like 4 clients that ended up having COVID in the last month, but a couple of them out and about, one of them not out and about very much. And this one particular client who's not local, but she has just been, I guess, just doing this whole homebody, ordered her, got groceries brought to her house, did the whole disinfecting, did all this kind of stuff, and she has COVID. So anyways, point here is that sunshine, happiness, connection, actually getting out and taking walks. I'm a big believer in the ocean heals everything. Sunshine and ocean waters. I should out right there a little bit. But yeah. So the point here is that joy. Give yourself permission to have joy. Give yourself permission to go live your life. Even though we're stuck in this quarantine time, even though we have the stay-at-home laws, even though, you might be terrified that if you walk outside that it's going to blow through the air, fine, wear your mask outside, but get outside and take a walk. Go and venture out, use VRBO. I'm big time VRBO Airbnb person because I'm helping other people and I'm getting to go out and experience different places, and I stick within like a 6-hour radius to my home, but still, and I'm traveling close with my home people, right? It's just important. It's important to give yourself new exposure to life. It's important to get sunshine. It's important to create laughing moments. It's important to still find beauty in the world. It's important to go and do the things that feel good to you. Because as long as we're sitting in our jobs and hating them, in our relationships and hating them, in our houses and hating it, much like my stepdaughter, right? We're sitting, and so many people are hating on their bodies, right? They're hating on their bodies, they're hating on their houses, they're hating on their relationships, they're hating on their jobs, they're hating on their government, they're hating on their country, they're hating on their neighbors, they're hating on their friends, they're hating on God, and they're expecting change. They're expecting change from all this hatred. I always come back to the war on drugs, the war on teen pregnancy, the war on this, the war on that. And when we war, which is hate, right? When we war on something, have we ever seen it decrease? Have we? Well, that warring, that that macro version of it with our world and our governments and our countries and our states and even our communities, as we shrink that down to the microcosm of us, we have to really come into terms with, I got to give myself permission to enjoy today. I got to give myself permission to break out of these ruts. I've got to give myself permission to enjoy my life. I've got to give myself permission to connect. I've got to give myself permission to love. And I better give myself permission to love myself first. I need to be able to, and I need to be able to make eye contact with myself. And maybe even stand there stark naked and go, I love you. I love you. And feel the shame, feel the fear, feel the discomfort of those 3 little words. And do it every single day until it feels good, until there's a confidence in there, until that shift in your heart starts to happen. Because when we do something like that, such as I love you, to ourselves in the mirror every day, guess what happens? What we do is we actually start to, number one, love ourselves, and our view on the whole world changes. And we move from that warring and that hating to loving. Because right now, it's not all love and light out there. It's not organic chocolate and wine and roses in our lives. There's a lot of shit going down. There's a lot of chaos and a lot of wrongdoing. And there's a lot of arguing about what the root causes are and what should or should not be happening. And at the end of the day, what it is everybody trying to change everybody else's view, everybody else's opinions, and telling each other that this is the one true path. This is the one true path. All missing love. They're all missing love. And they're all missing that they need to start with self. So maybe this is a Buddhist statement here. I don't know. I know that Buddha definitely talked about that if you want to find peace in the world, discover it within inside yourself first. And I know that the Bible happens to say that you can't love another until you learn to love yourself, right? So if we take those 2 statements and we want to find beauty again in our world, and we want to find peace in our world, and we want to find connection, and we want all this shit to simmer down, then wouldn't it be the most responsible act to get a little bit selfish right now? Just a little bit selfish, and focus in on us, on ourselves, on this little micro version of what we're seeing, and to start to look in the mirror and say, I love you, to start to create time of joy, time of fun, time of play, time of connection. I mean, imagine if you had, and I've learned this. It's a tough lesson. I still forget it sometimes. But it is one of those things that I think that I need to share with you. What if desired was already flowing to you, but you just that you weren't open to it? What if everything that you needed was already accessible in mass amounts, but all you had to do was know that it was there, have certainty that it was there? I can tell you that is exactly what's available to every single one of us. We can shift our moments, we can shift our futures by just allowing in the good shit. And we get to choose what we allow in. Today I sat in, I'm going to tell you the story, and I promise I won't take up like 40 minutes of everybody's time. But I was sitting in the dentist's office with my 5-year-old who had no cavities and did amazing for the first time ever at the dentist. He did not try to bite the x-ray lady's hands off, and he didn't scream. He was such a big boy. I was so proud of him. But we were sitting there waiting on his big brother to get done with his stuff, and they had on the news. And I don't watch. I go and I get like little news updates about stuff, but I hardly even watch TV. And there I am, and I'm sitting there, and I'm watching the news, and it was like Good Morning Texas or whatever the heck news station was on, and they were talking about how we need to teach our children how to watch the media and that our children should be watching the media every morning with us, because it is vitally important that our children learn sufficient news and what is going on in the world and the truth behind what the media says. And I thought to myself, fuck no. My children over, no. You could say no. I'm just not, no. And why? It's not that I think that the media is good or bad individually, like as newscasters and journalists. But what I can tell you that the media is really good at is hyping shit up and selling us pain, selling us fear, and really not reporting on the good stuff going on in our world, keeping us focused on the glass being half empty. And that is keeping us in this rut. That is keeping us exactly where we're at, in this warring hatred where neighbors are hating on each other and mothers and daughters are hating on each other and brothers are fighting. It's like the war of the North and the South all over again. A separation of the closest because of different views. It's kind of like Nazi Germany too, isn't it? My mom grew up in Nazi Germany. She was a little girl. And she went through 5 different concentration camps because she had a drop of Jewish blood. Her and her little sister, who was a year younger than her. And the girls were taken from my grandparents and they were put into camps during a bombing. And they went through 5 different camps. And the only thing that saved them was the Swiss government, but they kept getting moved. Every time the Swiss government came in to pick the girls up, the Nazis would move them to a different camp, and somehow they managed to make it through without ever being executed, quite literally, all right, without going through the cleaning chambers. I was telling my boyfriend about this morning. I was like, some of the stuff that I'm seeing, like what's going on over in Melbourne, they just shut down 3,000 residents just got locked into their apartments, police protected, guarded, not able to leave. You have to sign up for paperwork and you may or may not get the paperwork passed. And I was like, wow, that reminds me of stories that my mom told me about, in Nazi Germany with that. I mean, like papers to even be able to walk out of your building and that you're not allowed out. And there's police guards standing all around the building holding this whole, this apartment complex because 25 people tested positive. And, it's like, okay, wow. So we're going to shut down this whole community and we're going to go into Germany, really? A bit communist right there. Scary, scary times. But here's the thing. We need to remain aware, woke, as some are saying, aware, conscious, but aware and conscious, present in yourself and in the day and with what's going on in your world, but keeping your focus 80% on the fucking blessings that you're having, the joy, the beauty, the connection, the abundance, and looking for it. And when you find it, going, I am blessed. I am blessed. I am blessed. I give myself permission to be blessed. I give myself permission to be abundant, instead of looking at what the media wants us to buy into. That our world is plummeting, our world is crashing, our world is doing all of this. And oh my God, you need to fear. You need to fear living, you need to fear your mother, your daughter, your sister, your best friend, your dog, the register person, everybody. Oh my God, they all could kill you. Because as long as we're running around like that, we are at war with every single person that comes into contact with us. And as long as we're warring with every single person that's coming into contact with us, how the fuck are we supposed to be happy? I don't think we can. So, there you go. That's my viewpoints on all of that. My suggestion is give yourself permission to be selfish. My suggestion is give yourself permission to be abundant. My suggestion is give yourself permission to find joy in your day and to know that you're blessed, to smile, to take your mask off and smile, to smile under. Give yourself permission to get sunshine and fresh air, ocean water if you possibly can. Give yourself permission to make love. Give yourself permission to hug your child. Give yourself permission to hug a friend. Because you know what? everybody needs a hug right now. Everybody really truly does. This distancing that we're doing is creating more space than just in the physical sense. It's creating a distance of our hearts and a shutting down. So give yourself permission, because you are worth it. You are worth a thriving life. You are worth an abundant life. You are worth so much. So much. So, all right, before I go, I'll get all emotional because I feel some tears coming up. I love you guys. I'll catch you tomorrow with another Conscious Coffee, hopefully. Next week, I will be doing Conscious Coffee from next weekend. I'll be down at the ocean. I rented a beautiful beach house. See, this is how I remedy shit. I go and I rent houses, and and I got a house that is 3 minutes from the beach, just walking down to the beach. It's going to be so awesome. So I will be doing Conscious Coffee from the ocean, Corpus Christi next weekend, and then the following weekend we're going to be up in the Ozarks, and I'll be doing Conscious Coffee from the Ozarks. Oh my God, we haven't gotten the tickets yet, but we found horseback riding, half-day horseback and the Ozarks. So I think we're going to take the whole crew. There's 17 of us, 16 or 17. You take in, that's what happens when you have 7 kids, and then they start multiplying. But yeah, I think there's 16 or 17 of us. So we're all going horseback riding a couple weekends from now. I'm so excited about that because I love horses. I love horseback riding. I love the woods. I love the ocean. I love it all. And I feel blessed because I am blessed, and so are you. So go find your blessing. Scream it out to the world and make somebody else blessed by offering a smile and a little bit of love. I love you guys, and I will catch you tomorrow with another Conscious Coffee. Remember, stop existing, start living, and I'll see you tomorrow.